Welcome everyone, my name is Ryan and we are back with our second episode of A Legionary's Life, and we are with our character Ulrich Pinkerton, based off my good friend Kenny. And of course, if you've missed that first episode, the link for the playlist is going to be down in the description, and I'll probably pin it in the comment section as well. But we are just in our second phase of the battle with New Carthage, just starting our first run. If you're unfamiliar with this game, I do kind of cover some of the basics in that first episode, so make sure you check it out. But let's continue. When we hit this, we'll have a little check here, which we failed. Now that's not unusual. I've done this section of the game many times, as you will too if you start playing. But these early sections, you'll learn certain checks you just can't get until you've completed many runs and your starting character is pretty beefy. But so in other words, don't be too bad, too upset with yourself if some of these are failed right off the bat. But the rest of us will storm the city wall. So we weren't picked for the elite fighting force to go on a little special raid, which is good because we wouldn't have really survived it probably. Now we're just going to have to wait for the main battle. Many ladders are being propped up against the walls, while a constant shower of missiles is raining down from the battlements. The centurion promised to share a generous portion of his reward should he manage to be the first man over the walls. Do your best to help him. Do your best to stay alive. Now, here we come to a fundamental choice. We're probably not going to get killed depending on this, but it's going to set us up for the battle. Whether that's a good setup or a bad setup, we'll see how we go. But one of my core tenets when playing this game is don't volunteer for anything, and I think that's one of the core tenets of new military members as well. But it will keep you alive, although you'll miss out on some glory, and you'll see me break that rule quite a bit too. Unfortunately, it's hard to resist sometimes. For this one, like I said, it's not life or death. Let's do our best. You're one of the first to spring forward. There we go. We volunteered. I just break my own rule immediately, determined to open the way. Okay, we did pass the check. Remember quickness, coordination, and awareness. You are climbing as quickly as you can. The defenders should have a hard time taking aim at you, but your bold action is still leaving you quite exposed. So we're going to pay the price. Oh, and we did too. We lost health. Armor penetration. Okay, so actually we didn't lose health because of the armor that we bought upon starting our character. I believe that's what happened. You are way too vulnerable here. Your health has... Oh, we got hit again though, because we did fail that check. Defender's resistance gets more and more reckless with despair. There is no way to reach the top. At least the Centurion has noticed your intrepid effort, so we didn't quite get there this time. But again, in future runs, you might go for the same course and pass that second check, which would give you the chance, But either way, we didn't in this life. The cacophony is unbearable. Cries from both enemies and allies blend with the thuds of stone and smaller projectiles bouncing all around. Suddenly, the noise begins to dwindle and fade. You can't believe what you are seeing. Hundreds of Roman legionnaires are running along the tops of the walls, coming from the north. How did they get there? Anyhow, the Punics are melting before them, leaving the battlements unguarded. In the end, your allies reach the gate and open it, letting in the bulk of the legions. All right, we'll continue. And you follow your maniple into the city streets. Your orders are very clear. Secure the city by killing everything that meets you in the open. Hopefully, nobody will be so ill-considered. Your thoughts are interrupted when a small number of militiamen stand in your path. Uh-oh. Combat, folks. And this is close quarters right away. We don't have the chance to throw the javelin, but that's okay. We missed our first two in the first episode, but let's close in with this militiamen. I always advise just click on them, see what they've got. Spear, hoplon, basically no armor, leggings, or helmet. Pretty weak, same as the first couple that we faced off against in the episode 1. So we've got our stance, our health. Remember, we took 15 HP trying to climb that wall, so we're actually at a disadvantage with our HP. And if this red circle empties, the run is over and we start again. So we want to avoid that. Now we will have the opportunity between battles to heal up, but I mean, as it stands now, we're about 50% health. So let's get aggressive and try and kill this guy. We're gonna feint. Sometimes the best defense is to just go in head on. And he's a militiaman, so I'm not too worried. We did fail our feint, so we'll try again. Nice, succeeded. And he failed to recover, so now's our chance to attack. Let's mix it up and go for the groin. Missed it. And he recovered, therefore we're going to go defensive, move my slider to the left, and we're going to recover too. We're not going to get stupid. Play it smart and safe. If we don't get a kill, hey, we don't get a kill, but we live to fight another day. We'll feint. Let's try a deft one. Okay, so we missed our feint, but then he missed an attack on us, so his stance is about a quarter lost. And I should mention too, easy, medium, most difficult. Most amount of stamina stance taken away, middling, least amount. So that's kind of what this means here. But I just figured I should mention that. You know the difference. It's pretty explicit, like what these attacks are, but you look at the feint, you're like, what is quick, normal, and what is that? But yeah, the depth is the most difficult, but it will remove most of the stance. Either way, he is open. I'm not doing a lot of soft spot attacks because I remember when you can swift. Except that multiple has a greater chance to influence bypass armor. He's not wearing much armor, so we don't need these soft spots, but in future battles we'll look to that more. I think we'll just go bread and butter, torso, small hit, 9 points, not bad, not bad. And he did recover his stance. Let's pursue him with a shield knock. Nice. Shield knock's very powerful. Even after a recovery, he didn't fully get his stance up. Now he's outnumbered. We've got 2 legionaries on our side here. This is our first time in this season seeing like multiple opponents, or well, I should say allies in this sense, but we're just going to continue on. Let's try an arm attack, something fairly easy. Nice, we got the hit. Our comrades are taking advantage. His stance is back. And he attacked our our buddy up here tried to attack him but missed, so his stance is off a little bit. Nothing we can really do about that. Let's go ahead and do another shield. Failed. So we lost a bit of stance. I'm still going to try a quick feint, though. Nice. Okay. Our buddy just missed his leg. Alright, so our friends have set him up for us. It's like playing volleyball. One of them just did a setup. Now it's time for us to spike it. So his stance could be worse, but we're going to just go for a torso. Nice, we got the kill, baby. So we got morale boost, opinion boost. You look at the militiaman's lifeless body. Here's another choice. Flickering through your mind. Oh, yes. I can't remember. I believe if we choose pity, we get a virtue buff. I think is the choice here. Elation will give us a morale buff, but doesn't affect our virtue either way. But this, if you want to go for specifically like a heroic run, I think you want to choose pity. We'll just go with elation because the morale was a little bit low. Yeah, morale increased by 3. That's good. All right, an officer yelling out orders brings you back down to earth with a bump. You move on. You keep marching along the streets, as is custom. Looting is strictly prohibited until the battle is over. Stick to the rules and go ahead to the rally point. Yeah, there would be a second option, I believe, if we had a much lower virtue. All right, so... we continue. New Carthage is almost conquered, but 500 mercenaries from the garrison still holding the citadel. The proconsul is looking for volunteers. He's throwing in more than double the loot share. These mercenaries are nothing like the militia we faced off against until now. They may not be the enemy's best troops, but they wouldn't have been left here if they were. They may not be the enemy's best troops. They wouldn't have been left here if they were, but they're still professional soldiers. Only the most experienced legionnaires are following. No one would blame you if you backed off. We're going to back off. Yeah, again, don't volunteer unless you're extremely confident. All right, after a breakup but intense struggle, the garrison surrenders. And of course, as we play more and more and go through more episodes and lives, eventually we will try some of those volunteer missions on the channel. So if you're enjoying it, make sure you subscribe for more of the Legionary's Life content. But let's go. Okay, it looks like they surrendered. I think the battle's over, yeah. So we're going to go training phase next. But morale increased by 8. That's great. And we've gained 120 denarii. The army has obtained an important base of operations. The city's resources will be invaluable for the rest of the campaign. So continue, and now when you see this, that means you know that the battle phase is pretty much over and you're going to move to another training phase. But there's going to be a lot more action ahead. So let's see. Yep. Automatic skill increase for all three. Very good after a fight like that. Real battle experience, beats training every time, basically. Our morale is content. It's on the high side, though. It's on the plus 50%. Everything else is pretty 50-50. You consider a proconsul. Actually, I think he is still at 50, and we've actually gained a bit with our troop and centurion. Character, looking pretty good. So have an awareness penalty. Inventory, 222 denariuses. Now, I know from personal experience that we're looking at about 800 to 1,000 if we want to upgrade like our armor, which is going to be the thing I want to upgrade. So again, I'm not going to do any searching for buy sell right now, but again, in future episodes, maybe we will. So let's save our money and just practice. Ooh, okay, so now we've got the notification here that this solo practice, we're too good for it basically at the moment. We're too skilled to really derive much benefit. We will throw in a javelin practice because that's the first one literally. But now, if our reputation is good enough with the troops, very good, we can find someone, just anyone to spar with, which is always better than solo, but we can still become too skilled and we have to find like good soldiers and then the very best in order to improve at those points. But we did improve here. Let's not push that. Let's go with some workouts. Beautiful. Enhancing our just basic attributes. We did overstress. We brought up the overstress bar. Time over here, keeping attention to that. Let's do a little bit of extra patrol. This is not great for morale, but it will lower the stress a bit. We'll go extra guard, and of course, opinion is great. Now, one thing I should mention, extra coaching. You can't do this until you get promoted to a certain rank. That's us coaching soldiers is what this is. And this is a big morale boost, but number one, it's affected by how intelligent your character is. So the smarter your person is, the less like a sacrifice to the gods is going to actually help. But if you've got real low morale, you can basically spend money once per training cycle to do this. We won't here because we're okay, but maybe we'll strategically use that later. And our intellect is not that high. It could be much lower, but we would still derive some benefit from it for sure, despite our doubting natures. Okay, let's just get to it. Train. Didn't work that time. It's a risky, it starts to get harder and harder. But Jim is pretty good. Oh, threat of our life. Centurion is quite... some sort of game player. It's not rare to see him spend his idle time playing a game or two with his men, and today it's your turn. He patiently waits for you to move. Do we try our best, or do we indulge him by letting him win? Let's try our best. We failed the intellect test, and we lost a denarii. Not that bad, all things considered. We had like 222, so now we're down 221, but we didn't take a morale hit, no kind of opinion loss, so I consider that just we got through that okay. Let's run and swim. They failed to swim there. Morale just dropped because we're pushing them. Let's go to our leisure activity and hang around. Morale just bumped a little bit. We'll go back to miscellaneous and patrol because, again, that's actually helping the stress. Oh, random encounter. Suddenly assailed by a hail of bullets. We got Balearic slingers. And we passed our defense. Leader tries to rally as best as he can. You stand together in defensive posture while bullets keep raining down. Oh, we lost 6 health. At last you managed to form a proper shield wall. Start advancing at the pace towards your assailants. I think we're going to have some combat. When you're dangerously close, the slingers melt away. Dang it. Now, one thing, the life hit we just took, I should mention life because I forgot to point this out. We lost, 15 health in our initial battle, the first battle we got into, because of a failed check or whatever, but we recovered that health when we entered this training phase, and I should have pointed that out, I just forgot to at the time. So we had full health until just now, because we lost some from that little encounter. It would have been nice if we could get that, got our melee grasp around them, but we failed to grab those slingers. Either way, if we had gotten to him, it wouldn't have been much help to the overall campaign, I can tell you that. Okay, so we got 50% of our time left. Let's get back into working out. Oh, we just received some pay. The wounds hurt. We just lost 5 morale. Let's go in and do some sparring. Shield increase, but also let's go back to our character, because boom, look, that little penalty we just got to morale where it said it hurt, that healed too. So a little bit of a dual-edged sword. So we're back to full now. When we enter next battle, hopefully we'll be at 100%. Let's try a little leisure. Oh, the opinion increased. That's nice. We'll play a board game. We lost 3 denarii, but we did get more increase of opinion with the troopers. Let's see, Epidius is boasting about his wrestling. Oh, I know this one. He asks if there's anyone who'd like to challenge him. He's no taller than average, but he's built like a boar. We do have a fairly decent amount of strength, I think. Yeah, you can see that if you hit control, you can kind of check your attributes here at any point. I don't think we're high enough to pass this guy's checks, but just for the benefit of you guys, let's go to it. I think the worst penalty we'll get is like a opinion loss, so let's just rise to the challenge. Critonorius, whatever, will act as a referee. The rules are simple. Every time your opponent falls on his back or side, steps out of the square, gives up, you score a point. If you score 3 points, you win. Punches, kicks, and bites are forbidden. You are at the center of the square, ready to start. What's our strategy? What do we do? Let's see. Try and push him out straight away. Let's go with the standard grip. You grab hold of each other, try to overturn your opponent. We failed our check. He lifts us. You try to hold on. We failed 2 checks in a row. The point is his. Well, there's 2 more to go. Possibly 3 if we come back. Okay, let's go try and push him out of the square right away. Failed again. This guy's tough. You know, joking, he is the best wrestler in like the whole maniple or whatever it said. So, 2-0. But let's see if we can pull it off. Let's try speed and wits. No, he grabs you. Resist. You can't break free. He pushes you down, starts choking you. Surrender. You're compelled to concede the point. It's too late. Well, let's see what happens. Small crowd of soldiers gather around. Yeah, opinion decreased by 3. Morale. That was a pretty bad hit, actually. That was pretty bad. But like I said, for the sake of science, we had to try that one. Let's escape. Yeah, we're still content. We're not too overly stressed here, so let's do a little sparring. Let's try good. Now, so you try to find an expert skilled sparring partner for some extra training, but most of the time nobody is available. This does depend on the troops' morale too. Your sporadic training is ineffective. Judging by the way everyone is shunning you, you suspect they won't stand a chance until the troops' opinion has improved. So, back to just sparring with any old dreg. But let's push some workouts. Yeah, these workouts are very important. Obviously, they're going to help us, boost these skills, which then help pass all those checks and stuff. Morale is low. Increased troop. Morale by 2. Did that do it? We really need to get some kills. Let's hang around. And we'll finish off by extra patrol. Or 2. Ooh. Morale decreased after that. Yeah, nobody likes extra guard duty. Time is over. All right. So we're going to move on. Morale's low, but it's not terrible. I think with a kill, we can basically get it up to 50%. Again, so we're going to skip over a lot of the historical readings here, but if you want that context, again, watch the first season that I did, because I do read through most of that. But the wait is nerve-wracking, and at last comes the dreaded order. The assault begins. Apparently your skirmishers, the Velites, will have to engage the enemy light infantry holding the lower plateau. Picked units of heavy infantry are ordered to support them. That is certainly an unenviable task. With relief, you learn that your maniple will be kept in reserve. The frontal assault is underway when the proconsul Scipio himself takes the lead of half the remaining force. As the Carthaginians are busy repelling your soldiers, he leads you around their position. You're climbing the slope at a fast pace when a small group of Numidian cavalrymen approaches and starts harassing you with their javelins. The terrain is far from propitious for the cavalry attack, but they keep pressing you. Let's throw a javelin. We failed. Oh, no, we failed a defense check. Your throw is wide of the mark and can easily pick... Ooh. Your hit, health decreased by 7 at last. They recall their attacking right away. Damn. Should just turtled up. As you reach the plateau, you shake off your weariness, prepare to the fight. Now, we will go into this fight with health loss. Looks like Hasdrubel has sent his reinforcements to the first front line, but they are only partially deployed and clearly not expecting you. Your charge? You charge the nearest group into the flank. Let's go. Let's flank these mothers. When the attack... when the other side is right distance, repair. Let's just throw it in enemy ranks. Hey, check. Nice. So that just causes confusion. We don't lose any morale or reputation, though, which is the important one. And if you get good enough with your javelin, you can pick off certain targets and stuff. I've even, I think, killed my direct opponent before with my javelin. You gotta get good with it, though. I'm lucky, too, obviously. Alright, no second javelin throw, so let's just close in. We're looking at a Gaelic mercenary, so he's got a long sword, a scutum, no helmet. He's definitely going to be a bit more skilled than those militia that we've fought so far, but yeah, our health is a little bit low. We'll take the same strategy. We're going to try and knock him off his stance. Oh my god. Okay, so he hit me with the shield, then tried to hit me seriously or charge me or whatever, and he failed, so we're both off our stance. I'm gonna go defensive and recover. Okay, we're back to square one. We're gonna feint. Boy, oh boy, quick feint. Yeah, this guy's no joke. All right, he failed to recover. Let's try. Let's actually try a shield. We're going to put him farther off his stance and instead of trying to attack. Alright, failed that. He hit me, but my armor absorbed it. I'm telling you, the armor, buying armor at this character creation is so critical. So I failed to recover. Let's try again. We're not putting up too good of a show here. Alright, we'll go full attack, quick feint. Nice, succeeded. That's good, that's good. He recovered. Torso, just try him. Nice, first blood. Okay, he knocked me. Defensive recovery. Good. And he missed my torso. Leaves him slightly open. Let's push the advantage and go for a knock. And we missed. Let's try an arm attack. Nice. He failed to feint. I'm going to go recover. We can, if we kill him, we get that morale boost, the opinion, but if we grievously wound him too, that's also a positive thing. So if we just whittle him away, that would be great too. Obviously, I'd like to take him out. Okay, our stance is good. His is off a bit. Let's attack the groin. No way. Half health. Okay, he's back into a stance, so we'll go normal feint. Failed. He's regaining fatigue. Situation is shifting, so it's just warning us, and in a few more rounds, this guy's going to get rotated out. So now's our opportunity. Okay, get rid of that. Still got to play it smart, though. We can't just barrel in there. Actually, let's go ahead and barrel in there. We'll do a shield knock. Damn, I keep failing that. So he missed my neck. Oh, we're both out of stance, though. Let's try a quick feint and aggressive. Damn, failed it. Ooh. Alright, we gotta go defensive now and recover. Okay, let's recover again. Soft spot. One thing we gotta keep in mind is that this is the first phase of this battle, this fight sequence. Our health is already damaged a little bit. It's more than likely he is not going to be the last person we face off against, so we don't want to throw ourselves in carelessly and lose a bunch of health. Even if we kill him, there's going to be more after him, so it's a long thing. You got to preserve this life. Alright, so their formation breaking apart, very soon panic spreads, yada yada. Seriously wounded, so we did get a boost. Probably not as good as a kill, but Also, all these kills and seriously grievously wounded, they're getting us points too towards our next character. So whenever poor Ulrich dies, whether it's in battle or whatever, we will start a new character with a new series and we'll have more points to spend on character creation. All right, Carthaginian line is collapsing. Many are taken prisoner, but in the meantime, the bulk of Hasdrubal's army manages to escape. Have you ever heard of Hannibal? Not Hannibal Lecter, but the guy who helped take down Rome, I think at one point in their history. This is his son, Hasdrubal. All right, I think he's got 2 sons, if I recall correctly, but either way. At last, you're ordered to plunder the enemy camp. You set to the task with renewed enthusiasm, morale. Boom, we're content. Let's keep going. The enemy camp is a bit disappointment. It looks like the Carthaginians were able to take most of their valuables with them when they retreated. Split up and search some of the tents, stay with a large group. I don't exactly remember. Let's just split up. You enter apparently empty tent with a friend, a short, stout soldier with a permanent smirk, and start searching. I think this is an opportunity to improve or decrease our virtue. After a while, your companion finds a finely crafted bracelet, clearly intends to hand it over to the Legion, and that's exactly what he's supposed to do, or propose to keep it for yourselves. Now, this is like a charisma check, but I think we're going to stick with 1. There's no check with that. That's just normal course of action, so boom. We could have tried to swing things towards our pocketbooks, but no worries. Like I said, having a low virtue is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, in just an overall metagaming perspective, it opens up new options, and you'll see different avenues that you wouldn't if you play like a real virtuous character. So it can be fun to do that. But let's continue. Hasdrubal leaning north, intent on crossing the Pyrenees with the remnants of his army. The proconsul refused to pursue him, and many of the troops are frustrated with that decision. But you're glad to be of his decision. Following Hasdrubal now, with 2 or more armies behind you, could be a prelude to disaster, would jeopardize all the efforts you've made in the last 2 years. Morale increased, baby. Carthaginians you captured are sold into slavery, and the revenue is shared amongst the troops. Scipio orders the Celts prisoners to be released. This will help secure more alliances. Smart politique. All right, let's go with the gaining 30 denarii. Continue. Oh, look at that. And the Battle of Baecula has come to a close. We were victorious, and of course our real battle has sharpened our skills pretty substantially. Very nice. Now, of course, those sharpened skills are going to make it more difficult to train, so we'll have to be looking into like the good and the best eventually, but workouts are going to become less effective. Luckily, leisure seems to remain pretty consistent. Maybe it's effective like charisma, but I think this is a good stopping place. We will continue to, along with Ulrich's journey here in the Roman army, obviously with another video. So make sure if you enjoyed this one to subscribe, hit that like button, and I can't wait to see where this will lead. So join me for the next one, everybody, and have a great day.